Hensley here with Real Estate Mega Moms, where we help moms create a life and a business that they love. And today, my partner and I, Stefanie Stockberger, we are going to be talking about how you can solidify your value as a buyer's agent with things changing. And that one of the ways is by defining your value proposition. We're going to go into how one of the ways we do that is by showing our buyers that we can help them find properties that are off market. We're going to talk about the ins and the outs of how we find these off market opportunities, how we organize them, and how we present them to our buyers. Topic. I'm excited about it. I know that a lot of people are struggling with the changes, struggling with really articulating their value to buyers. And you and I were talking about some ways that we've been sharing our value with our buyers. And one of those things is helping our buyers find off-market properties. And Stefanie, have you done very many off-market deals?
Oh yes. Oh yes. It's actually one of my favorite things to do. Is putting buyers and sellers together. I have whiteboards in my office, and it's like one of the things when I get down into my office, I'm looking at my whiteboards and I get all giddy because I'm putting buyers and sellers together immediately. And there's something about that because, when you pull up your MLS and you see what's for sale, that's a given. I think when you get your real estate license and there's a buyer looking for a home, it's like, yeah. I mean, we can look at the houses that are for sale and put that together. I think that's just natural. But what about the ones that are looking for something that's not there? I mean, are we just going to sit on the chair and just wait? Let's not wait. Let's go find them a home.
I
And
think
that's
most
what
agents do.
they do.
They don't know how to find these off-market opportunities. So how are you finding them?
Yes. So, I mean, several ways. Again, it's getting up off the couch, getting up off the chair. It's talking to people. It's writing letters. It's knocking on doors. It's just networking. It's talking to people that you know. Is someone that you are aware of thinking about selling their home upcoming? Is it someone that you sold their home? Do they know someone that might be willing to sell in the future? Is it your friend that told you that, hey, I'm having a baby. I might be looking for a bigger house next year. Instantly, those things that trigger your mind that are like, they might be looking for a house. I have a phone, and I'm sure you all do. And there's my dog on my phone, by the way, one of my dogs. I think my other dog has jealousy because there's only one dog on here. But I'm constantly writing notes that so and so told me that they're getting married, or their nephew's getting married, or so and so is having a baby, or whatever the case is. Those things trigger me into thoughts of, are they going to be moving? Could they be moving? Keep those things in mind, and then call them later. Have a conversation with them. Are they going to think of maybe moving in the future? Could they be someone that would be on your whiteboard of potentials down the line? Would they move if you found them a buyer? Could they possibly move? Those are the ones that you want to start keeping on your boards of interest. And
Yeah.
if you found a buyer for them, would they move? And then where would they move? Could you be finding and looking for a home for them? These are the exciting things. So when you're looking for something that would set you apart as a buyer's proposition, let's not look at when you're sitting down with a buyer saying, when you're looking for a buyer's agent, I can offer you a letter that says this is when the time changes next year. These are not the things that buyers are looking for. They're looking for something that's got some guts. They're looking for people that are going to get out there and get motivated, keep them informed, and they're always going to be looking for their best interests. They're going to want someone that's looking for their equity evaluation, someone that's really going to just be out there. And these are the things that you're going to be looking for, is someone that's going to get off the couch and look for properties that are off market.
Yeah. And the way that I present it, it's actually in my buyer presentation. And I explained to my buyers that we can actually help you find properties that are not on the market yet. And the way we do that is with direct mail. So once you've identified the things that are most important to you about the property you're wanting to find, what are the non negotiables of your search criteria? I will do a search on my platform, which I use Celebrity Agent, by the way, to do this part of it. And it's really cool because I put in their information and it shows, wow, there's 105 properties that meet your criteria with this location and this, square footage and so on and so forth. All of those people get a direct letter from me. And actually, the letter appears as if it's coming from my client. And it says, as if it was you, Steph, it would say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I am interested in a home just like yours. And it might give a little information. I'm relocating here, or I took a new job, or I'm just newly married. We're going to give them a little information about you to make it very personal to you. They don't get your last name, they don't get your contact information. But what it says is, have you considered selling? Or if you're willing to sell, will you please contact my agent? And then it gives my number that's connected with Celebrity Agent so it can be tracked. And it's really cool. I get calls weekly from our direct mail. So that's one way that we do it for our buyers. And I explained that in the buyer presentation. Another way is I will post on my social media and just with my connections, my email list, what I call an ISO post, which is in search of. So I'll say, I have a buyer who is pre-qualified up to 500,000 looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 5 acres and in Montgomery County. If you or someone have thought about selling and this matches your property, please contact me. Nearly every time I post something like that. And by the way, be specific and say on that post, we've already seen everything on the MLS. Otherwise, you're going to have people trying to tag their agent or tag their property that's already for sale. And the point of this post in particular is to find something that's off market. Another way to do that is to put it in your stories. I actually kind of prefer that option because then the response is direct to you versus public. I have actually had other agents stalk my ISO post and poach my opportunities. And I'm like, oh. So, but anyway, it
Ouch.
makes their relationship, to be fair, they may have been like, oh, she told me she was going to sell. And I see she commented on Jessica's post. But if you do it through stories or through email, then, they're going to respond directly to you. And then just like Stefanie said, kind of keep a running list of people that you've heard about that want to sell or, you know, clients even that said, oh, I might sell next year, those type of things. I track those on a spreadsheet. Surprise, surprise. I love
Spreadsheet
spreadsheets.
versus whiteboard.
Same diff, right? And so we call it our seller opportunity tracker. And so anybody that I hear about or that tells me they want to sell goes there. And then when I'm lead generating or when my team is helping me lead generate, we're going through those opportunities. And my goal is to book appointments from those opportunities. So those are a couple ways that we find them. And I explain a lot of that to my buyers. And I tell them, why do you want to go after an off market property in the first place? Like, why is that a benefit to you? The benefit is you don't have to compete. You get first dibs on a property that matches your criteria, and you don't have to worry about outbidding someone else or making an over asking price offer. I'm able to negotiate it where it's good terms for all parties. So it puts you as the buyer at a little bit of an advantage, and it's less hassle for the seller. They don't have to worry about showings. They don't have to worry about prepping their house for photos and all of that. There's a lot of good that happens with off-market properties.
Another thing I was going to mention is a week or two ago, we talked about leads groups or, networking groups. You can use your networking groups to look for off-market properties as well. If you have 10 or 15 people in your networking group, You can ask them to look for sale by owners, or do they know of someone that's thinking about selling, or, you know, in the near future. I've utilized them to help me find an off-market property for my buyers. That's been super successful. Your family can look out for these for sale by owner signs. You know, a lot of these for sale by owners will stick literally a sign in their yard and just hope that the right buyer comes along, and they won't post it anywhere. If you have a big network and if you put that out there, people love to help you. So if you say, hey, I'm looking for a property for a buyer, if you see a for sale by owner sign in the yard, will you do me a favor and just take a picture of it, give me the address and phone number? I would be forever grateful for you. I mean, I have these advocates that are like, I'm going to help Steph, and they will send them to me, and then I will call. Not only will you be getting a possible for your buyers, but hey, there's a possible listing there too. So it's just something to think about. That, I mean, there's so many possibilities for these options. So utilize all of those things, but do not be afraid, which I'm super pumped about. I mean, I wish my physical health was going along with my mind, because I can't wait to be telling these buyers about all of the things that I have been doing over the years that I didn't even think that we had to tell them. You know, before we just really didn't. But there's a lot of these buyers agents now are saying, my value proposition is I do this, and I'm going to give you some swag, or I'm going to let you use my trailer. And it's like, let's do so much more. Let's tell them about all these amazing things that we have done and will do for them, which is all the things that, here's my notebook, all the things that mean something to these buyers. And it's all the hard work and sweat and tears that we have been putting in for years. So it's exciting. These things are exciting.
Yeah. I love this. You have me thinking I need to redo and update my buyer's presentation of, you know, why work with our team, what's in it for you. And I might have a whole page of off-market properties, the ways we do it, why they want that. But another would be, you know, the ongoing experience beyond closing. So one thing we started implementing is buyer binders. And shout out to Elevated Agent, because they shared this template with us, and you can go grab it and buy it on her website. I think it's like elevatedagent.co is her website. But anyway, but what it is, it's a personalized binder that has their address on the spine of it. So all they have to do is, it's going to go on their bookshelf, and they'll see it easily. Okay, this is for my property. And we do dividers that have their closing documents, anything associated with the sale of their property that they purchased, a place for them to put their warranties or important information about appliances and things like that. Also, a place for them to update their insurance annually. So when they get that new insurance, just punch holes in it, put it under the insurance tab. And then we have a place for them to update their value annually. And this is where we tell them, my goal is to help you stay on top of this asset. Think about your 401k, or maybe you have stocks and bonds and, you know, different assets. Your home is no different, and probably one of your most valuable assets. And so my job is to help you keep the value updated over time, so you can keep a pulse of what it's worth. So that means if you replace the carpet, you change out the countertops, you do an addition, you add a fence, you do any improvements to your home, let me know so I can add that to your home's portfolio and update the value. And I'll be calling you annually. Yeah, I'll be calling you annually to go over this, but don't, you know, if you make a change mid-year, go ahead and call me. I'll take note of that. And so my clients, it's created a lot of opportunities to just have this conversation with them. By the way, we automate that annual check-in. I recorded a video on BombBomb. We've segmented my past clients into groups. If they close in June, they're in one group, July, so on and so forth. And right before their anniversary, they're getting this bomb email from me, and it's just saying, "Happy anniversary. I would love to give you an updated value of your home. Click this link below to schedule your anniversary appointment." And it can be by phone or in person, but it's creating opportunities and just helping us stay top of mind.
That is an amazing closing gift. A lot of times we give gifts that really just don't mean much. And I think that's the perfect gift. And that's a way to add a ton of value. How many times have we gone to a listing appointment with someone that we closed at with 5 years ago, and there's papers flying everywhere, and they're like, I know I have that receipt and I did this. And I love that, Jess. That's an amazing
I
thing.
need all the help I can get to be organized, so I know that would be really nice for me. I need to just make my own binder, actually.
Yes. One more thing about off-market properties that you and I are both with EXP. We have what's called Zen List. I believe it's called, yes, Zen List, which is a website with off-market properties. And I am excited about this. So basically, if we have an off-market property, we can put it on, and all of EXP can put their off-market properties on this website. And so let's say I am looking in Florida and I just want to see what's on there that's basically off market. I can go on and just put Florida, Fort Myers Beach, Florida, and see what's on there. So that is super exciting too. So I am using that as part of my strategy when I sit down with the buyer, is that if there's anything in Sioux Falls or in the Sioux Falls area that's off market, where let's say someone doesn't want to show their house because they have a new infant, or they're private people and they don't want to put it on the MLS. We've got those off market properties too. So that is really exciting.
Yeah, and I was sharing with you earlier, my office has started taking listings as office exclusives if there's something that's going on with the property that maybe it's not quite ready to be on the MLS. So, for example, I signed one yesterday. It's a rental home, and the tenant has a lot of stuff, like borderline hoarder. And
Oh,
so it's not ready for photos. And we know my client wants to go in and paint and clean and, touch up before we could do photos. And it's not going to be till October. But she doesn't want to wait, because ideally she'd love for this person to move out and to close very shortly after, so she doesn't have a gap in income. And so I shared with her, well, we could go ahead and list it and make it where only myself or my office can show until we put it on the MLS, which target date is October 15th. And the benefit to the seller is she potentially could still sell it, so she's not losing time. But then once we get on the MLS in October, it's the days on market don't begin until that time. And so she doesn't have, the 45 days or whatever it is. I guess it's 2 months, 60 days. She wouldn't have that counted against her. So that's another thing we're doing. And I mean, I have a very small team, and I believe it's going to be with an office exclusive, would be with all EXP. So not, it wouldn't just be with my team. But anyway, I'm really excited about that option.
yeah, that is awesome. I mean, and it's a creative way to help someone that really does want to get their property on the market but can't really yet. I mean, we've had several of those as well, where there's too much stuff, or even if there's like a death in the family, or we've had estates before where, there's again, maybe too much stuff. There's a lot of reasons why people maybe don't want to put it on the market. So
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Well, and as a listing agent, you've probably been to a listing appointment where they say, well, I want to sign with you. I'm good to go, but I'm not ready to get it on the MLS. Well, this is a way to have them sign either with a coming soon status or an office exclusive status to go ahead and get it signed, go ahead and get it secured. So you don't have to worry about, oh, are they going to sell it to their neighbor now that I've given them this value? Or are they going to go with another agent on a whim? Somebody that swoops in. So get that paperwork signed and do it either as that coming soon status or an office exclusive.
Yeah, now for coming soon for us, if we do that, we can't show it.
Same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's not nearly as fun, but
Yeah. We can't show it, but you know what we can do?
what?
We can sell it.
Oh, we
Isn't that
can.
weird?
Yes, we.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know if it's a loophole here, but,
Okay.
what they told us was it can't be shown by anyone,
Okay.
but if somebody wants to make a sight unseen offer. So
Oh,
then to
sight
me
unseen. Okay.
mhm. So that would be, we would probably need to make sure there's a video tour, something
Sure.
along those lines.
Sure.
But anyway, it's, there's lots of creative ways to do real estate, and I think our clients, they're not gonna know that that's even an option unless we tell them,
Yep.
and it's just another way to reinforce why someone would want to use an agent. They're not gonna find those off-market properties. They're not gonna have
Absolutely.
time or resources to direct mail people that have a property that they're looking for, and are they gonna wanna deal with someone, that really wasn't even thinking about selling their house and, you know,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely. So we use Celebrity Agent too. We just started, just so it finally
nice.
got, yeah, went through all the whole cycle. So I'm excited
Good.
to hear how that's working because we do have a lot of people that that are searching very specific neighborhoods, and we're doing the mailing, outbound mailing, and that kind of thing. But it's so exciting to see how they can kind of trigger like certain neighborhoods, like who is interested in selling. So we can be
Mhm.
very focused on this neighborhood and the sellers or the owners that are thinking about selling. So I'm really excited. So
Yeah.
that's something that we can definitely during our buyer presentations say that we have access to very specific sellers that are interested. So
Mhm. I love it. I love it. And moms, if you are interested in Celebrity Agent, we can put a link below. I am on their board. So it's, full disclosure, but I'm a fan and that's why they asked me to because I was so vocal about how many opportunities it brought my way. And I'm a believer in it. So far it's been really good. So all right, everyone. Well, we will see you in the next episode. Thank you for joining. Hopefully, this was valuable information. Bye.
hi.